Hey, what is going on, my YouTube family? This is your boy Mike Jax. I'm a realtor based in Orlando, Florida with eXp Realty. Bang bang, you see the logo. So I just want to make a quick video about buyers that are taking their time to buy a home when actually they're eligible to buy a house. Now, before I speak on this, I want to make it clear I am not making this video and saying that this is pertaining to all buyers because every buyer is unique in their situation. This video is only for buyers that actually are eligible to buy a home, but they're not really aware that they are eligible, and then they say things like, hey, I'm going to wait for the various reasons that I'll give in a few minutes. Also, just real quick disclaimer, this video is not something eXp has asked me to do or anything like that. This video is coming solely from me. So this is my YouTube channel, and I'm posting videos based upon what's on my heart and things that I see and things that I hear people want to talk about in the real estate community. So I'm making this video. All right, so let's get into it, guys, and make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that like, and the notification if you join my channel. All right, so buyers, if you are out there and you wanted to buy a house and you're telling a real estate agent, hey, I want to buy a home, make sure that you are aware of the criteria to buy a house because a lot of you are already eligible and you don't even know it. So I'm going to give you an example. A lot of buyers have came to me and said, hey, Mike, I want to buy a house, but I'm not ready yet, but I'm looking at buying a house. And when I sit down and listen to them and break things down, I'm like, okay, so why do you think you're not ready? Oh, my credit score is so bad. Well, what is a bad credit score? And, you know, they'll say things like that. I say, what is your definition of a bad credit score? Oh, I'm so bad I don't want to say. I say, okay, hey, don't worry about it. I don't have to know, and it's not my job to know. But what I will say is, do you know that you can have a credit score of about 580 and be eligible to get a house? No, I didn't know that. So a lot of buyers don't know these things. They're thinking, oh, I got to have like 800 credit. And I'm like, guys, most people don't have great credit scores that own homes. So it's very common to see people have, credit lower than an 800. Everybody doesn't have that, right? So what I would suggest for buyers is to make sure that you have a knowledgeable realtor and an educated realtor to sit down and talk with you about your concerns, and then they'll be able to help prep you. What I do is what I call a buyer's consultation, and that's when I sit down, I ask them questions, I listen to the buyer and their concerns, and then I find solutions to help answer those questions and concerns so then they'll feel a lot better. And what I'm telling you guys is if you're a buyer and you're eligible to buy a home, if you say to a realtor, hey, I'm going to wait still, I'm going to wait, especially if you're renting and you have a lease and you're thinking, oh, my lease is due in 6 months, I got time. Let me tell you something, that is the biggest mistake that you can make. Here's what you're saying in a nutshell in real estate translation language, okay? If you're a renter or a potential buyer, whatever, or selling your home, and you're waiting 6 months to buy because you have this ideal time frame, well, guess what? The market's not waiting on you. Interest rates might increase from now until 6 months, and then you risk getting a home that you could have paid for within the next 30 days for a cheaper interest rate versus the next 6 months where the interest rate slightly might go up or drastically go up depending on what market you're in. And in Florida, especially in Central Florida and South Florida, I can tell you from experience, houses are waiting on nobody. So if you see a house that you like and you taking the basic steps to get pre-approved, don't sit there and wait, you know what I mean? Or if you have not been pre-approved, make sure you get pre-approved to see where you're at so you can start game planning a lot better. Because a lot of people wait until their lease is up. Guess what, folks? It might take 30 to 45 days to close on a house, even longer during COVID. I've seen some closings. I had a closing one time that went longer than 45 days. So guess what? Because of COVID, we had to extend the closing date. And the reality is if you wait until you get near your lease and you're anticipating on a 30, 45-day closing and it takes much longer, guess what? You don't have a place to stay. Then you got to renew your lease and you're spending more money than you anticipated when you could have just already did that homework from the beginning and get your ground game and a game plan ready so that way before your lease is up, you have a home. And keep in mind, guys, most of your rentals, they will work with you if they know that you're buying a home as long as you give them like maybe 60-day notice. Every apartment or every complex is different. Every landlord is different. But for the most part, if you're buying a home, they're well aware that, hey, they're going to be leaving a little earlier than anticipated, and that happens all the time. So that's why I say get with an educated realtor to help you see what your options are. So a short summary, guys, if you're eligible to buy a house, unless there's some, situations holding you back, don't sit there and wait because what happens is you're going to go out there and then you're gonna miss out on the home that you wanted, and that's what happens all the time. I see it every day. Now, if you're trying to save up money and you want to improve your credit score, hey, that's fine. But keep in mind, depending on your credit score, I've seen people with 620 versus 700, And in a lot of situations, that's not a big difference in the monthly mortgage payment, just being honest with you. You know, depending on your debt to income ratio, your credit score, and things of that nature, you might be looking at paying what, an extra $15 to $30. Not a whole lot of big difference between 620, 700 when it comes down to a lot of those aspects. So you just want to make sure you sit down with your lender and find out exactly where you're at, and that way you can have a better idea of what you'll be paying in an interest rate, because you might be ready now and not even know it. So I've had buyers that got houses and they were able to capitalize because they were ready to go after we had a buyer's consultation. And then the next thing you know, in a couple months, we helped them get a home 60 days, well in advance of 60 days of their of their lease ending. So that was beneficial to them. But I've also seen the opposite happen. I've educated some buyers on things, especially renters in particular, and they wait till the last minute. And now they're in the crunch time. Now they're trying to go month to month on the lease when they should have already had that groundwork done, as, you know, told to them, as informed to them. And sometimes buyers just get in this mode where, hey, I don't want to do nothing right now. I want to wait. And in those situations, when you're ready to purchase and the lender's telling you they're ready to go and you're still trying to wait, or you're waiting to get pre-approved and you find out you were ready 6 months ago and you're trying to work on your credit, you just kind of shot yourself in the foot. So I encourage buyers to get with the realtor, get an effective game plan, and then know what you need to know as far as what you're approved for, pre-approved for, and then that will dictate how ready you are. And then between you, the realtor, and the lender, you guys can come up with a better game plan. But don't not get pre-approved and just sit on it and expect a miracle to happen when the market is waiting on nobody, especially if you have a certain area or a community or a budget that you're looking at spending, and those houses are just increasing and going up. You're only shooting yourself in the foot. So the later you wait, the more you're going to pay, more than likely. That's just reality. So, all right, guys, I am over and out. Hope you all have a blessed day. If you have any comments below, make sure you post it and subscribe to my channel. Hit that like and hit the notification so you'll see all my live videos. And lastly, friendly reminder, this video is not applicable to all buyers. It is applicable to the buyers that are actually eligible to buy who are not aware that they can buy. That's who I'm making this video for, okay? Everybody has unique exceptions to the rules, where sometimes you might need to wait to buy a house because it's more advantageous, especially if you have credit score or you're trying to get more money saved up. And last thing, I will say this before I go. If you are trying to buy a house, prioritize your wants and your needs. If you're having a wedding, for example, so many people do this. They'll get married and then they want a house. You might want to, if you don't have the funds and you have to, reconsider some things and you prioritize that house, hey, think about getting married in a courthouse. I'm not trying to give anybody guidance, advice, or whatnot, but for your priorities, if you really, really desire a house and your rent is increasing, going too high, I'm just speaking on experience. I've had a lot of renters who are renting and then they got married and they're like, man, I can't afford a house because I spent all my money on that wedding. Don't be one of those buyers. Prioritize yourself. You know what I mean? You can always renew your vows. You can always do things like that. I know a lot of buyers who have renewed their vows, and I get it's a special occasion. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just making a friendly suggestion. If you know that you want a house in a certain time and your lease is up and you're getting married around the time the lease is up, try to get married in the courthouse or have a smaller wedding that you can afford as an alternative, as opposed to having a huge big wedding and then you have no money for a down payment or money for, to buy a home. That's the worst thing you can do, money to pay closing costs. I've seen it happen way too often. So I just want to make sure I put that out there. All right, guys, have a blessed day, and talk with you soon. Be on the lookout for my latest real estate videos. Over and out. Take care.